It's your best boxing friends, Kelsey and Rachel. Rachel, did you see what happened at the LA Clippers game yesterday?
I got a notification on my phone that Mayweather and Pacquiao
Face to
exchanged
face.
some pleasantries.
Yeah, so apparently Manny Pacquiao was at the game, like with the Clippers, because I think it was Filipino like Heritage Night or something, and so he
Okay.
was there, and obviously he's there to promote his bout with Adrian Broner as well.
Hmm.
And of course, just by happenstance, Floyd Mayweather. So you have Pacquiao ringside, courtside on one side of the court, and then on the other side, of course, Floyd Mayweather's there. And so I saw some video of Pacquiao throwing out the shirts, that they threw, and then like shaking hands with Mayweather, and. So this is all very suspicious to me, Rachel. Is it suspicious to you? Does this seem like this is just a random chance encounter?
Um, no.
It's absolutely not, right? Like this is all.
Well, didn't the same exact thing happen
Yeah,
before?
I think it was at a Miami Heat game, but the same thing happened where, and what that does is
And then they came out with like story after that after the game they
they
met out
met
at
in
their one of their
yeah,
hotel rooms.
not yeah, got all the details. So I I mean I just don't see how this isn't that. Like these things don't happen by chance. I don't
Yeah.
think in reality.
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
that
yeah.
the optics of it is it gives you a little boost in the news. I mean you got a thing from
Notification, yeah.
notification on your phone. It was all over Twitter, all over everywhere. And the idea is people are like, oh, this fight's going to happen. That's what happened last time. Last time it was a lot bigger deal. But still, I mean, it's still a big deal because
Well, and the
it's
other
Floyd Mayweather and Manny
interesting,
Pacquiao.
yeah, the other interesting thing that comes into play is that as of recently, Mayweather has been doing things that makes one think that he needs some money.
He either needs or wants more money, and so
Yeah.
he's going to be doing right. Exactly, he's
So,
on this
like,
path.
it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility that a rematch with Pacquiao,
And to
you
me,
know,
it's even beyond that. To me, it's guaranteed that Mayweather and Pacquiao are going to fight sometime within the next year. I think this year, 2019. Here's why I'm
okay.
thinking that. Manny Pacquiao goes over to. I think that's the reason why he signed with PBC because that's Al
Yeah,
Heyman.
you had talked
Al
about this.
Heyman's ties to Mayweather as a manager, etc. Then you put Manny Pacquiao in the ring with Adrian Broner. What are people going to be thinking of when they watch Manny Pacquiao fight Adrian Broner? Because Broner is the very poor man's Floyd Mayweather, right? And I mean, his style, he's a counterpuncher. People thought when he was coming up that he could be like Floyd, but he can't be like Floyd, doesn't have skill. But still, Pacquiao set up to wreck Broner. Broner's not the same league as Pacquiao, but the style kind of he's got the shoulder roll like Mayweather, and people see that and they see him wreck Adrian Broner, and then you're like, oh, it kind of puts a craving in your mind, like, hey, I want to see him fight Mayweather now, right? I mean, and you start, you've got the shoulder. Even in some of the reports I've read about Pacquiao throwing shirts or like, and he threw the shirt with his shoulder that's not injured anymore, and I'm like, okay, that's put in there on purpose. I think. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that they're building towards it will still be a very lucrative fight, and I'm wondering, um, like my biggest question is when is the timing? When would the timing of the fight be? Because I don't know with Canelo kind of staking out, Canelo Alvarez staking out. He's a huge star in Mexico. The Mexican dates around May and September.
Yeah.
You know, do they go for September or is it going to be kind of earlier? Is it over the summer or is it a little later?
Like around Christmas.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. What do you think about for Floyd? Because I also think, from my perspective as a fan, it seems a little bit risky if you want to remain undefeated to fight Pacquiao again. Like it made sense to me that he did it the first time because if he didn't, it was going to be a black mark on your record forever. Like it would always be there that you didn't fight your top rival.
Yeah.
But he did that and beat him soundly. Like you could say about the shoulder, but Pacquiao chose to fight anyway, and
clear win.
So it's not a black mark. Like you give him that win and it's done.
Yeah.
So it's surprising to me that with all the other ways to make money, that Floyd would consider this.
Yeah, it's interesting, but at the same time, I kind of
if he's considering it.
I understand Floyd has two great loves in his life, from what I can tell. He loves money, and he loves being undefeated. He loves not just being undefeated, but being undefeated and seen as at least the self-proclaimed best ever.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can't just fight a bunch of bums and go undefeated and be that. He didn't do that. He fought a bunch of Hall of Fame fighters. He's carefully managed those two things. He wants to make a lot of money, and he wants to fight people that give him that air. But yeah, the more times you put yourself in risky fights against all-time great-ish fighters,
Yeah.
then yeah, and especially he's older than Pacquiao by a few years, and he's not getting like what is he 41 now? He could definitely, I mean, he'd still be a favorite in the fight. There's already odds, there's futures posted for this fight.
Okay.
And he's about the same kind of favorite as he was in the first fight. But I don't know if that's super accurate from an odds perspective because Mayweather hasn't fought a legitimate boxer since he fought Andre Berto, who one could argue, right, it's Andre Berto, that's not. So the best fighter he's faced since Manny Pacquiao, like that, he hasn't fought legitimate boxing field. He fought Conor McGregor and the, whatever you want to call that, and then this Tenshin Nasukawa kid, right? While Manny Pacquiao has stayed active against at least notable champion fighters, right? And so I don't know. Like I'm intrigued by this fight. I've always wanted to see the rematch. I know that the first fight happened way too late. Fine.
Right.
At least give me more quantity then, right? I think I've said this before. I want to see the fight again because, look, the shoulder did play a role in the fight. You could see in the fourth round, in the first fight, Pacquiao was getting to Mayweather, and then and so much that we're like, oh, it's on now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after that, Pacquiao didn't throw punches the same way anymore. And it wasn't because Floyd was really just laying into him. It was because Pacquiao's shoulder was hurt.
It's just hard to make all this analysis without, like, the data because I love Manny Pacquiao, and I'm not great at, like, analysis of fighters if they haven't, like, fought somebody. And so I think, yeah, Manny Pacquiao has a chance, but I could talk to somebody else who's like, that's ridiculous. Floyd will just control the whole fight. He's a great defensive fighter, and he's not going to go in there like he did against Conor McGregor or whatever.
Right.
You're ridiculous, Rachel. It's not going to be competitive.
Yeah, because you could argue, if you see the way he fought Conor McGregor and then also watch the way he boxed Tenshin Nasukawa for less than a round that he fought him, those are not the ways that Floyd Mayweather fights.
No.
So if he went into a fight against Manny Pacquiao in this way, and maybe he's convinced himself he can, then he's going to get wrecked, right?
Yeah, so it kind of just depends, like, where Mayweather's at in his
mental
mind.
makeup.
Yeah,
I think he's probably...
Because he could be just, like, cool and like, no, I'm going to do what's best for, my career and fight in what's, like, won me all these fights. Or his ego could have gotten the best of him. And, Floyd is kind of hard to figure out because you see somebody with, like, flashing all this money around, making, like, a lot of bets and doing what I consider dumb stuff. But then on the other hand, when you see little bits of, like, him with his kids, and he's clearly raising his kids a little bit differently than maybe what he was raised when you consider, like, the relationship between him and his dad. And then what goes on with the rest of his family, it seems like a stark contrast there. And so I don't know who the real Floyd Mayweather is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's actually...
I don't know if Floyd knows who the real Floyd Mayweather is.
Maybe he's actually, like, this is all really just show, the money, the bets, like, all this. And maybe he's really, like, intelligent and knows and calculated and knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, so I'm excited about the potential fight. Are you excited about it, or would you rather just... I think you've said in the past.
I don't like to be excited this far in advance and be strung along for something. I'm not assured that this is going to happen. Nobody said it. So,
see, I
see the notification on my phone, and then I put it out of my mind and go on.
Do you think maybe you have some post-traumatic stress disorder? Because you became a boxing fan during the Mayweather-Pacquiao era, and so you were always excited for the fight, and it never happened.
Right. But yeah, there was a time where I was excited about
stuff. And now you've learned not to get excited. That's sad, Floyd and Manny. What is up with that? Look what you've done. Hey, you know what you can do? You can like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll tell you what, if you love Mayweather-Pacquiao 2, like, comment, and subscribe. If you hate it, like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't know what we're talking about, just like, comment, and subscribe.